Hello everybody, welcome to the artclasses.com Patreon paintover. The paintover at the moment is once per term. So if you hit more goal, like goal number 3 and number 4, it'll be like maybe once a week. But at the moment that I have, so you get it once per term. So I'm just going to randomly pick it from any of the Patreon that post the image. Usually I'll just randomly pick it and I will try to cover everybody, so I'm not just going to pick the same one over and over, so that you all can get the feedback. All right, so what I did here was, first thing first, your it's nice lighting that you have here, because you have directional lighting, which is either sunrise or sunset. That's why you have a long shadow, right? So this make it very more difficult for you to create sense of depth in both, because you have to separate in between light arrangement of value from close to far, and then you have to figure out shadow value arrangement also from close to far. So in the light will be sort of darker, but then when it's come to when it mixed with the shadow that you have, it will be more contrast. So it get more contrast as it closer, and then when it go further away, it's gonna get less contrast because everything get lighter. So you didn't separate it that well. So basically, I can see a little bit, but it could have been more. So what I did there was, and as the object go further away, you might not need to give them that much contrast. You want to keep the contrast of the light and shadow in the front or the foreground to keep it more like, you can have more contrast there. And then as you go further out, everything will get simplified. So as you can see here, you see more contrast. This is like a half an hour paint over, so it's not going to be anything pretty. But you get the idea. All right, so that's pretty much the major element that you can improve on this painting, basically. And also, I shortened the light a little bit, so I don't have to like paint all these long shadow. So instead of lighting from well, I'm just going to explain it. So instead of lighting the sun from here, and you have longer shadow, I move the sun up a bit. So that's why my environment is a bit lighter, so you can see a little more, because otherwise it would be kind of harder to depict the light and shadow. But at night, this is not at night. At dawn or at dusk, usually they are pretty hard to paint. You don't see a lot of painting that, I mean, photography, yeah, you see a lot of photography do that because it creates a lot of contrast. But in painting, you don't really see that much. Painting usually, they'll try to find something that are more, a lot more subtle. But, or you can use backlight. But anyway, I don't want to get into the photography or painting as much. But okay, this whole video we show you how to get from there to here. And what it does is it gives you a lot more depth and a lot more color, in terms of like making this one a little more bluish and less yellow. So you want to have one dominant color, and then the other one will be kind of less. So and in this area you have more focal point into that warm color, so you separate between cool and warm. All right, so I'm just going to explain as I go. The paint over is going to be about 30 minutes long, and all right, let's get started. All right, so in this one, let's see here, there's a couple of things I see right off the bat. Well, good job on lighting, directional lighting, which is good. You have the lighting coming from the side, which is nice, but in terms of value and the depth, you do not have, well, you kind of have a little bit, but it's not quite well, especially around the area that you have a lot of tree going on. So this is just going to be a really quick feedback. Like around this area, you don't have the value range of the tree, because the closer the tree is supposed to be darker, the further away ones should be lighter and smaller, so it doesn't have that. But you do have this mid ground, which is good. The sky look correct. You could make this mountain a bit separate it a bit more, like give it a sense of depth, so bring some of the mountain in the mid ground, which is what I'm going to do. Also, I'm not sure what this is. I mean, I know what it is. It's tree trunk or fallen tree or something, but it's kind of distracting because I'm not sure what you're trying to imply or what your message is, or why is it here in the first place, because it's kind of blocking the camera angle. If you're gonna put it there, it might have like a purpose or something. Like if you are shooting, let's just say in the key shot, and you have like a kid hiding in the bush, and you have a bunch of bush, or a kid hiding in the tree, and you have the POV of a particular person, then you could have that. And that's just one case, but there's a lot of cases that you could use some kind of blocking in the front. But in this case, I'm not sure what that purpose is, so I'm just going to take that out entirely. Also, you have a separation of like snow and the ground over here, and you have that kind of blocking it, so it wasn't really clear what it is. And if you have the ground, you don't want to just have snow on the bottom of the tree trunk. You probably should have a sprinkle somewhere, part of the snow. So I'm just going to bring the snow in more, basically. All right, so let's just get started here. Just going to get rid of that. And I'm just going to assume that this is snow, because if you're doing water, it's just going to get even more complicated. And if you have a strong light over from here, then that should get the strong light on the snow also, so the snow should be a lot lighter. I'm gonna lighten that up. It should even be light, maybe about 80. What is this? Yeah, you could light it up a little more there. I'm not sure what that is. You have a shadow on this side, and then that's supposed to be like a footprint or something. Footprint should be like smaller if you are going to do a footprint. I don't think on the ground shouldn't be that much. I'm gonna bring this up here. That's mean in the back it has to be super duper light, because you have the light. The light is pretty strong in the front here. I'm not sure if that's going to present more problem. Let's just copy paste. Going to make that a lot lighter. Alright, and then just going to erase it out. And I'm not sure if you have reference for this, but I mean in general, whatever that is further away is going to be lighter. And usually there's reference rules kind of support the same theory. Once in a while there'll be some exception if you have a different lighting that are setting. But most of the time, the closer object will be darker. Usually it's a shadow. So in general, the closer the object, the darker it will be. And I'm not sure why you picked the directional lighting, but that's kind of gonna, I'm gonna have to like put that all back down. That's gonna be, this is pretty long. I'm just gonna move the lights up a bit. So this is quite different. So I see that you have a pretty long shadow, which means if you have a long shadow, that means let's just say the sun, if you are here, that means the sun is going around that area, and then you shoot and you have a longer shadow. So because if I have a long shadow, it's going to have to take longer to paint. So I'm just going to do a quick change. So I'm going to move the sun up to here, so all the shadow will be shorter instead of having the shadow be that long. I hope that makes sense. So I'm just going to move the sun from here to here. So the shadow will be shorter, and I can play with the depth of these a bit more. Whoa, why did I delete the layer? Okay, go a little bit lighter there. And some of these you could make some of these tree lighter and skinnier. So I'm just gonna break, well, let's just gonna break all this dark part here. Leave all the tree that you have in the front. All these I could separate them a bit more. Why didn't you pick the color I want? Alright, now I'm going to build one range it up further out. And I'm going to lighten the horizon a little bit more. Then bring more mountain range. So this is 81. I'm going to make it slightly darker. So this is a closer mountain range there. And the light should be on this side. If your light is following the sky, then you could lighten this up a bit on the mountain, right? And so does this one, but then the shadow of it has to be darker. Then on the floor, it's going to be a reflection of the sky, basically. Closer, it's going to get slightly darker. I'm not sure what the transition in between. The ground might be a little too saturated. I'm going to desaturate a bit, especially in the back. It's pretty bright there. Yeah, I'm not really sure if it worked, but yeah, well, I'm not gonna change it too much because otherwise there's always complaint on YouTube. You totally change everything. So I'm just gonna keep it here and just fix it enough. And well, now I change the directional lighting so it kind of look a bit brighter because it's now in the afternoon instead of in the evening or in the morning. And this, I think polar bear should be a little bit more blue. Well, it's kind of brown, but should mix that up a bit. And the lighting should be more of the sky color. Well, shit. There's a lot of things going on here. That might be a bit too... Alright, I'm gonna tone the overall lighting. Well, I'm not sure if I could or should. And then here you can have a little bit of, well, let me lighten this up a bit. Alright, so I'm just gonna fix only a specific area, right? So in here I could make it slightly darker. So in general, you should, as it comes forward, it should be darker. But then the directional lighting, which is going this way, so whatever's on this side is going to be lighter because the light hit it. So it's just in general. I'm just going to bring the eyes more toward that, and I'm going to make this slightly darker here. I'm going to add some shadow back later on, but now I just want to maybe create some terrain, a little bit some shadow in between the eyes and ground. Alright, so now yeah, when you break this, you don't want to just do half, right? You want to bring something out and push something in to create that interesting edges between the two area. And now we're gonna come to, so the tree trunk around here, right? Okay, let's fix that. Maybe I'm gonna move make some transition of the sky a bit. Alright, now we're gonna add some more tree. Let me use saw brush here a little bit. Push that back a bit. I'm gonna clean all those lines. And the light should be mixing with the ground a bit, so it's not going to be totally yellow or totally brown. It's mixing with the color of the light. So it's going to be desaturated blue as it goes out. All right, this should be kind of fading a little bit there. Now I'm going to add more tree in the back. So this one's going to be further out, so it's going to be a lot lighter. I'm going to use maybe, let's do 100%. Number 2 is a little bit darker. And number 3, so it's about 3 depth level I'm going to use. This one is what? 66. 66. 66. About 50. Yeah, we do about 3 or 4 depth right there. So this one's gonna be the one that are further away, like way far out there. Gotta make this cleaner. Another layer, which is, well, I'm gonna have to go more in the back first. Then I'm gonna make another layer, which is front. You can see that it's getting a little bit darker here. Tone that down a bit, and a bit thicker. This one's gonna come in the foreground, not foreground, but even closer. Should be more saturated, but now it's gonna mix with the orange a little bit more. Well, that's too green right there. Alright, so as you can see, now you have more depth on the tree side, but it's probably going to take me, well, let's double down on this. So it looks like it has more tree. Could flip it. Just erase. Alright, now I'm going to do the tree in the front. So I'm going to put this all in the folder. use layer and new adjustment. Let's do level, because if you want it to be slightly darker or later at night, then you just move this around, tone down the light. See, now you have more depth onto those three right there, so that's one of the big problem. And then on these three, I am going to, let's merge this down. Let's do the one in front first. I'm going to add some light onto it. So it's basically, your lighting looks fine, but you know, it just doesn't have any depth of field basically. So you need to work on the depth of field. Like in here, it looks flat, and on the tree it looks a lot flat. So now just giving it more depth and maybe a little bit of color. Yeah, because like the color wasn't really, I'm not really sure what, how did you get the color that you did, which, you know, it should be, everything should be sort of more blue. And the tree, mostly, you look at the tree in winter, they're going to be more white rather than brown. Then I'm going to do more tree in the back. Light again. And like as it go further out, you probably wouldn't see, the light probably wouldn't be as strong as the one in the foreground. You want the light to kind of tone down quite a bit. Now I'm going to add some shadow. And it's going to get lighter. Shadow will get kind of fade out when it's further out from the origin. And as further away, the shadow should be darker in the front, and as it goes further out, it should be lighter. push. I'm gonna turn this off. Push all this back. Alright, so you want more tree, you can make more, make it thicker here. I just double down on the tree. Again, maybe we change the size. Or tweaking the shape and the angle of it. And that probably would be, I'll turn that off again. Should be a lot lighter here. And look at the proportion of barrel. So I think your bear might be, the legs might be a little bit quite long. I'm gonna shorten it a bit there. And the shadow. Proportion also, watch out for the proportion, and that should be pretty much it. Let me add some texture there. Yeah, it's just a really quick pan over, so but hopefully you get the idea what I'm trying to do here. So the object, if they further away, then it has to be darker. And I mean, whatever the fading rate, sorry, it has to be lighter, and if the object closer to us has to be darker. If the object receiving the same light, the closer one will be darker, and the further away one will be lighter. And if you have directional lighting involved, then you're going to have to separate between lighter and darker object. But the object with the same base color, you have to take that into consideration also. But in general, further away darker, closer, further away lighter, closer darker. Sorry, I'm trying to paint and talk at the same time. But yeah, that's the general idea. But you also have to take into consideration what how the lighting hit the object, and if the object has the same base color or same value if they do, then the rule will apply to all. There are some objects that will act differently, and those objects are basically depends on, if the object is opaque or not. Sometimes if the object has a higher specular level, it might not follow the rules, like water. Snow is also part of those objects that might not follow the rules, because sometimes everything depends on the light. So if the light reacts to them differently, then it will not be abide by the rule. But Yep, that's pretty much the idea. So I pushed that one way back, right? So you have you want to add light a bit more, you could still add light on the tree just so that you can kind of, okay, let's do some lighting here, right? Light, and a little bit of light on this polar bear thingy. I'm just going with your polar bear. Should be thicker on, and then the tree could be there, and then the light could hit those trees, but the light that hit the tree that are further away will not be as light as the light that hit the tree that are closer to us, right? And then in here you want to add, well, you could do that on snow also here. You could enhance the shadow a bit by adding the light that are intersecting both that. I'm kind of mumbling right now. So yeah, now I'm adding light on the top of the tree trunk or something. And then shadow. So it might not be as pretty, but you get the idea. Then I think the polar bear face just now got to be lower. I mean pointier basically. Separate that out a bit more. The more I paint, he got smaller. Right. And you could also add a little bit of snow if you want. Well, some leftover snow. Yeah, but basically, I just fixed those areas. There's a lot more stuff to be done, but this is just the main part that you could kind of push it a little bit more. I'm gonna break this to be kind of make it smaller there. Yeah, I could spend more time and trying to finish these, but I think I just gotta go now. We're running out of time. But try to, you know, basically arrange the value, try to identify what value would be in what distance, because the further away the object, the lighter it will be. So now I'm just changing, see like how I'm arranging this mountain here. All right, hopefully this is helpful, and well, just like I said, I take that out because I'm not sure what you're trying to do here, so I'm just kind of make it pretty much generic paint over, and I shrink the shadow down a bit. But most importantly, that area, try to give it more depth of field. Actually, this one has to be a bit lighter too, because it looks kind of further out there. lighter. This has to be, if it's closer, then it has to be darker. You can have another darker one here if you want. Just make it like really dark. Why is it not dark? Yeah. 3 times over here, and then add a little bit more stuff. But yep, pretty much this is it. You can have like more shadow here if you want to. And the sky. So well, that's pretty much what it is. I hope this is helpful. Well, yeah, if you're interested in getting pen over, you get onto my Patreon, or you can just take my class. Alright guys, well, have the good rest of the day. Bye bye. And if you are really interested in digital painting, whether you're doing it for pleasure, or like hobby, or you want to get really good and become a professional artist, you can go to theartclasses.com. That's what I usually say in the beginning, but I still got email from people asking me, where is your website? So I guess I'm not making it very clear. And also below here, you're gonna have you can click on here, you're gonna see student review, and then you can check student artwork, which there are some new artwork that I just post here that my student just did, and there's also the improvement that say week 5 to week 15, or week 1, week 6, and all that stuff. So just go to this, and then you can just click there, and you can go watch the video, and the video will explain to you how it works. And then also you can like watch this diagram here, like how the class work is. You just go register, then you get an email, then you get to watch the video, and then after you've done the homework every week, then you will get to do the live class with me. And also you can also download a longer or premium tutorial from my website directly, or you can go to Gumroad, which is Gumroad. Just click on the link on the top right, then you'll find Gumroad. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and don't forget to stop by on my live session every Monday to Friday at noon Pacific Standard Time, or 12 p.m. and I usually do a live stream over there. Alright guys, thank you very much for subscribing. Have a happy new year, and enjoy the painting or whatever you're gonna do this year. Hope everything will be great for you guys. Alright, bye bye.